Welcome everyone. Time now is 5 o'clock. Welcome to South King Fire Board of Fire Commissioners meeting. Everyone's present. I believe Commissioner Burris will not be attending tonight. Next order, Pledge of Allegiance. Chief Sewell, please. Thank you. We're down to item number 3, approval of minutes from the regular board meeting on August 26, 2025. Motion to accept.
Turn my mic on. So. I move that we approve the minutes of our regular meeting on August 26, 2025.
A second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Fuller, seconded by Commissioner Vedino. Any discussion on the motion on the table? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We have minutes. Commissioners' comments. Item number 4, I'm going to start on my left. Commissioner Fuller.
Yes, just glad to hear that driver engineer Drew Lowen was not hurt badly, and in one of those accidents. Very much appreciate getting advance notice, because certainly got a lot of questions from people.
Commissioner Vedino.
Um,
Commissioner McGates.
Nothing for me.
Only thing from me, again, I will reiterate what Commissioner Fuller said. Thank you, Joe, for the heads up on the email. I did see the pictures. Or you guys will tell us later. Thank you. Item number 5, public comments. Do we have anyone here from the public? State anything, or please state your name and address for record and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item number 6, Commissioner Committee reports. Are there any reports? Commissioner Vedino?
So we had quite a few meetings. The Finance Committee met twice. Their minutes are in your packet. The Hiring Committee met, and a job description was sent to all commissioners that we would like to approve tonight if possible.
Any other ones? The guidelines came out.
The guidelines were also sent out from the Policy and Procedure Committee as well.
Any other committee reports? Commissioner Vedino?
Were we able to make the motion for that job description section of the agenda?
Should be able to, yes. It's not on the agenda, that's what I was asking.
Commissioners, this is a regular meeting, so you can take action on that item without it being specified in the agenda.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Great. So, that being said, item number 7, administrative team report. Yeah, you can then. Sorry. So I would take, you want to approve that? Everyone taking a look at the job description for the fire chief? Questions? Well, it looks like you have one.
It was last updated on 2025. It says on the document, is this the most recent one that we worked on with our consultant and with the committee? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Just asking if that's the correct date or. Thank you.
Mr. Gates, you have a question?
I'd like to make a suggested change in the job description. And I think I'm looking at page 7, where it says work week and hours. The first part is fine. The defined work week begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. This position regularly operates 5 days per week, Monday through Friday, 8 hours per day with a half an hour unpaid lunch. I'd like to put a period there after lunch and delete the reference to the 4 days per week, 10-hour days. I know that 4 10-hour days is becoming more and more common. It's maybe an industry standard. I'm not sure. I'm sure some of the agencies around us here have that. But at this time, I think that having the new chief, having he or she work 5-day week would be the best thing, in that it'll give the new chief more presence in the office or out in the stations, wherever he or she may want to go. But there's so many things that this person's going to have to learn in terms of maybe being a fire chief, and all the tasks and responsibilities that we have, that I think it would be worth it to have the chief, at least for now, work 5 days a week, and maybe down the road, that 4-day week could be an option.
Is there a way that we could have that type of inclusion there, or?
Since it's job description, not a contract or we have it as what we want, and as far as making it the rule, we could do that in the contract.
I did ask about this. We were talking about this job description, and the reason the 10 days was, or the 10-hour days was included is because it's offered to other chiefs in our department, like district chiefs.
Yeah, I understand it's offered to other chiefs, but I think, for the start here, our chief should be working 5 days a week.
I agree.
Dino,
I'm okay with that.
how do you make the changes in there?
Well, motion could be made to adopt the new job description with a friendly amendment to state that the work week would be 8-hour days, 5 days per week.
Okay.
Don't have to write that right now, but the motion in substance should reflect that, and then we can make the interlineation after the meeting.
Okay. Do you have a discussion on the job description? Any other changes anyone else is looking for? See anything else? Pretty clear.
We've gone through this, gone through it and combined from previous job descriptions, and had a lot of discussion. I don't have any further comments.
Okay, Mr. Miller. Dino, anything else?
Nope.
Okay. We should make the motion. Go ahead.
I move to approve the job description with the amendment to reflect an 8-hour, 5-day a week work, or 5-day a week work week.
Motion by Commissioner Medina, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Gates. Any other discussion on the motion on the table for the work week on the job description?
This will be sent out soon with by our consultant. Okay.
Okay. Here and see any other questions for it? Well, here and see none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. It is approved. So now, item number 7, administrative team report.
I'm going to stay seated tonight. Don't have a whole lot to report. This is budget season for us, so it's busy. And as you know, we've got a new team on board. We're firing on all cylinders. To touch on the accident that you mentioned earlier, commissioners, I've been upstairs for many years now, and what I saw this weekend, in terms of the actual accident, was terrible. But we did what we were supposed to do, and the administrative team that supports our firefighters did exactly what they were supposed to do. I happened to be walking my dog that morning, glanced at my phone, saw the email from our director Lee, who had already been in contact with Fleet, who had already been the BCs had already been in contact with Assistant Chief Michaels. Assistant Chief Michaels got a hold of me right away, got the information, informed the board. Chief Sukol was involved. The battalion chiefs were involved. Chief Winter showed up to Station 61 to support our crews. Chief Anderson was involved. They were all engaged, not seen that in years. And I think that I talked to a few firefighters today, battalion chief, and they're all feeling that is a change in leadership. So I want to tip my hat to this team, because it's exactly what should be happening. It was just automatic. There was no question. There wasn't difficulty getting hold of people. So with that, we do have our new Assistant Chief Sukol and the Assistant Chief Michaels in attendance today. So I want to give them the opportunity to speak to that situation. You have a mic right there.
So really, I'm available to answer any questions that you have. I will say that I really appreciate that the crews were doing exactly what they were supposed to, and the rig did exactly what it was supposed to, protecting our people. It's unfortunate that it will cause us not to have a rig for some extended period of time, but it's much better that it was the rig than any of our people. And had the rig not been in the position that it was, it probably would have been lives lost, whether they were ours or State Patrols or whoever. The State Patrolmen that I talked to at the hospital, both of them were also very thankful the rig was there. So you guys have any questions?
How new is that rig?
Don't ask. That's one of the new ones, right? 22.
So touched base with Engineer Lowen when he was at the hospital, talked to him. He recognized a gap, moved that rig a little bit further up, and then obviously after he did that, the impact was behind the compartment where it had a great chance of being the impact at the driver's area, which thankfully he ended up moving it up as scene recognition that he determined for a nice hole that a car could punch through and hit the crew. So I was very thankful for that. In this business, I would write off a fire engine any day than one of our members. And yeah, it was just training, the way they set up. It was designed to do what it was supposed to do. And we'll move on from that. We'll either get it repaired or replaced, but we have our members still intact, so that's what's important.
I can't help but think of the accident, 10, 15 years ago on I-5.
So,
Quick perspective.
ironically, did you have something, Commissioner? Ironically, the Thursday before, we were actually whiteboarding out what apparatus that we had and how we could increase units and resources to the community. And so now we're likely going to be without an engine for an extended period of time. It's possible that that one will not come back into service. So we'll figure it out. With that said, any questions about the staff report? It's budget season for us, so we're preoccupied with other things right now.
The only thing I have, Jared Ganem, is probably Schuylkill and Michaels. So what do we do do we do any type of counseling, anything for
PIA.
the members that are on the scene?
Is it still on? Yep. Okay. We haven't reached out to them with the peer. Everyone had what was available that day, and the BCs have been monitoring the crews. I think probably the person that I had contact with that day at the hospital that was the most shook up actually wasn't the patient, but the officer who felt like he was responsible in some way. But he seemed like he was doing pretty well. So at this point, we haven't incurred a need yet. So we'll see. We'll have our peer people reach out and see if there is a need to follow up with that.
Thank you. Only thing I have for administrative reports is Fire Marshal. Thank you. You know, the CRs is kind of close to me. And everything you put in there too, Chief, is really spot on for me.
Thank you. So I am starting on a community risk assessment. So we are literally at day one of it, if you will. So I will begin collecting data. I have worked, as I said in my report, with Travis to gather the information, but we're looking into things to try to reduce the calls. But obviously it's not something we can fix today or tomorrow. It's going to take a couple of years to slowly reduce that number. But it's just starting. So, but I will need everyone to kind of participate when it is that I send out a survey to ask what are some of your chief complaints, if you will, for things, because the data shows so much, but the personal stories adds to the data. So something that I'm working on and still actively trying to get going.
Thank you.
I believe we had a program in MIH on falls and fall prevention. I don't know where that went. I kind of disappeared. I didn't hear anything more about it.
Yeah, I believe back when Jeff Bellinghausen was still here, he had a program, and I think that just kind of fell off when he retired. But that is something that we're looking into because there are certain neighborhoods that we found just off the data that we've responded to. I think one home 60 something times last year to just a single home for falls or lift assists. So I mean, there's a need out there for it. It's just getting the right resources and getting the people willing to accept those resources.
Anything else?
Question we fortunately had Chief Webb passing. What is the status of our control program in trying to reduce the exposure of our firefighters to chemicals or whatever might be causing cancer?
So, go ahead, Lane.
Hello, Commissioner. We have each of our stations is supplied with a Netterman exhaust extraction. So all of our diesel particulate matter is exhausted, as are our gasoline engines that are parked inside. We have water chemical extractors or industrial washing machines at every one of the stations, so our members can decontaminate their gear after every call as well. And we're still looking into the possibility of getting a carbon dioxide dry cleaning machine, far more efficient and effective than the detergent and water extractors. We have in the region, Northwest Safety Clean is partnering with Puget Sound Fire, and they're putting the first one in our area. Commissioner Lee, myself, and the rest of the exposure reduction initiative team is going to visit that and actually run some equipment through it. We have an opportunity to kind of beta test it there. Also, Commissioner Lee talked to the executive. What's the gentleman's name?
Commissioner, I'm sorry, not Commissioner Lee, Director Lee.
Thank you. I thought I was elected.
Please strike that from minutes.
The gentleman's name is Mike Dyke. He was a former chief of Tualatin Valley, but he's currently working for Emergency Technical Decon, which is they're in partnership with Hughes Fire.
And I think you said, Director Lee, that they are, they're going to have a facility open in Portland.
Yeah, they're going to open in Portland in approximately 2 weeks. So we'll have a secondary option, but Chief Sukul, myself, Chief Winter, hopefully Lieutenant Gullickson, as well as Captain Thorson are going to make a trip down there to take a look at their operations. They encouraged us to bring a dirty set of gear so that they can wash it in 45 minutes while we're talking, and it comes out clean and dry. It's rather amazing. We do have a federal earmark of $850,000 for 26 through Congressman Adam Smith. So just a FYI for you.
How much do they cost per unit?
Well, the machine itself, you can do a lease program or you can purchase it outright. And there's two different sizes. There's a 410 liter and there's a 600 liter maybe. I don't know the exact specs on it, but two different sizes. They're both upwards to $1 million plus if you buy it outright. Conversely, if you lease it, you're looking at about $16,000 to $18,000 in operating every month.
Every month?
Yes.
So we would have one, or we have one at every station?
No, we would have one, and I think it's a 610 liter. Don't quote me on that specifically, but the larger one, we can fit 5 full sets of bunker gear. So in the smaller one, you can only fit 3, but at a 45-minute wash cycle, you can get everybody done rather quickly.
Just have to arrange for transportation. And
that's why we upstaffed our logistics division in preparation for this.
Right.
So,
have we ever tested the efficiency of our washing system? Just how much is left in the gear after washing?
Yeah, that's a great question. We haven't specifically tested our own gear, but the data out there suggests that even our at most efficient, our extractors get the gear 50 to 60% clean.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
It's not optimal, no. And there also is the possibility of cross-contamination, whatever Joe's gear left behind when it didn't get completely clean could be picked up by my gear the next time we wash it.
There's probably some factor of how of what chemicals are removed during washing. There may be some that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And also the extractors we have now aren't currently effective in removing heavy metals from our gear.
That's where the CO2 comes back at 99.9% of cleanliness on detox for carcinogens, heavy metals. So not only firefighter gear, right? Mechanics, our facility workers, like any of that, it would be open for all to decrease as we are one workplace. We have to look at the whole picture of everyone within our organization.
Given the end cause or the possible end result and the tragedy and cost of that, sounds like that's a big budget issue that ought to be brought up in the next round.
Yeah, we're working through that and getting it on the docket and seeing what we can do.
With a very high priority, I think.
Yeah, Commissioner, it was earmarked as a important capital project that was included in the 2025 budget, large capital project sheet. We also received some money from the Department of Commerce, just under $100,000 that's being spent to get Station 60 wired properly to have that heavy machinery there. So it is a priority for us, and it will be something that will be discussed during the budget process.
Thank you. When do we think we'll occupy our fire administration building? Who came up with that title? It doesn't have a lot of zip to it.
Well, I was going to take credit for it, but since you don't like it, I won't take credit for it.
Okay.
Well, we just started calling it the fire admin building because the Olympic building meant nothing to us. But I've heard a new iteration of it, which is the fab. They're calling it the fab. And I think that's because Assistant Chief Sukul thinks it's fabulous, but I'm not exactly clear on that. So I don't know. If you have a better name, but right now we're just going by the fab.
I just have to give somebody a bad time. When do we think we're going to occupy it?
Well, we're still debating that. They can speak better to it. I'm hopeful that early spring, late spring-ish, 6 months. But they seem to have gotten some more information today, so one of them can speak to it.
So it depends on who you ask. So we're delayed in our process through procurement. We closed out the last bid and we had to go out to bid again. In fact, Kelsey just completed the contract docs today. So tomorrow I'll be sending out a notice to proceed, 30 days. So I anticipate we start in October. So if I ask the owner, he would say 6 months. If I ask the PM, he would say 9 months. And so we went back and forth in terms of what we thought. Given the conditions and with materials and the civil work that needs to get done at the fab, we landed on 270 days, so approximately 9 months from October. So in addition to that, we also have to sequence the procurement of our FF&E or the fixtures and fixture and equipment. So that's being done by One Workspace up in Seattle. And so we have to make sure that once we get our certificate of occupancy, that we have all the right measurements and we have everything ordered in time and everything's installed. So there's going to be some time before our CO when we actually move in.
Okay. How about Station 62? What's the timeline on that?
I'm going to defer this one to Chief Sukul.
Yeah, so we had our design team out today walking around, co-mingling with the firefighters at the station. Basically, they wanted to come up with your workflow, bringing everyone in board about like what are your wants within a realistic approach? Like what is important to you? How do we develop this space, make it adequate for the community? So right now they're in the design, they're getting all this intel. They got Monday and Tuesday, they have laser measurements coming in. So that way they're dealing with adequate numbers. And we should be, by the time that we occupy, we can't do anything till we occupy the fab ULIS building. And then from there, we can have the construction companies come in, right? Because we can't start construction when it's all occupied. So part of that 62s would be relocating them to 68s where we're at here, utilizing bedrooms, coming up with a bathroom idea to facilitate 5 people, engine A car running out of here. And so we'll have moving time and getting multiple buildings at the state of readiness. So that way we don't lack any service to our community. Today, talking to them, they said that probably would be starting construction within a year. And then they guesstimated a project that size would take 1.5 years to complete.
The issue of where do you put the ladder if you come to 68?
Yeah, so we have a couple different options of what we can do. When the tandem axle, the tiller gets here, the only station it would fit in is 64s. So we have to develop concepts of deployment, and we want to have an engine to back it up so that way it has a pump available. So right now we have the ladder going over to 4s, and then because it's just a little too tall for 68s, so we have it at 64s, and then we're putting at 66 the bungalow, which the MSO used to run out. The getting that set up with alert tones, and that's going to be A car and a backup BC station. So that will get some good relief to 66s, who's a busy engine company and is in need of an A car in that area. So we're still, as we're growing and we're looking at all these projects, our focus is to still grow our staff, grow our resources for the community as we're lacking. And then when the opportunity comes to look at building new structures on locations, then we don't have to look at build it and then basically house people. We would have the staff and different swell stations that we can move over to accommodate a new structure.
Thank you. Not easy.
No, very difficult because right when you think you have it figured out, you go out here at 68s and you look in the app bay and you realize that they built the kitchen halfway in the app bay and that takes up a bay space. You're going to park a battalion chief. So yeah, very difficult. We're maxed out on our bedroom spaces. We're maxed out on our bay spaces. We just got done having conversation today that we really need to start focusing on what the long-term growth within a short-term period looks like for our community and then give them the resources they deserve.
I saw one facility was part of a pulp mill where they had put trailers, got mobile trailers, rented them, and had them converted into bedroom type of operation.
Yeah, we've looked at all that and we've figured where we're going to put it. 62s would be hard because it would be an active construction site. The cost of buying a trailer or renting a trailer is very expensive by the time you look at it to meet codes of housing for long term. But right now, I think we're pretty comfortable at building up the stations that we still have a few extra beds and some base space.
Good. Good.
A little bit closer to Commissioner, or actually probably not closer to, but in short order, Chief Sukul and Mitch will come out with some drawings that sequences these events so you can visualize the timing because there's going to be some overlap. In a nutshell, as soon as admin can vacate Station 62, we'll move into the FAB. That frees up space. They have to start renovations here to get ready for the cruise. And then once those are complete, hopefully it's timed appropriately so that the crews vacate Station 62. They're now responding out of Station 68. Construction is commenced under Station 62. And as you know, through the other means of communication, we're looking at property. Where do we put the next fire station? All of these are parallel trains that we're running right now. We can't afford to focus on one. We have to focus on several. So.
Have we made any progress on finding property?
I'll let them speak to it.
Yeah, we've been in talks working with the city of Federal Way to see if they had any leads on anything. A few pieces we've looked at and really come down to inventorying of what we own for property and what that would do for us. We have a piece of property. It's 3 acres at 344th and the highway, which would be very nice for a fire station for response. Would fit the need of the community, would fit a response area that would help benefit our members. It's the guy has it listed for a hotel, hoping like a Hilton comes in and that's premium property, but our team is working on coming up with realistic numbers of what a purchase price should be. And once we have that realistic number, then we can decide if that's investment is worth that money or if we need to look at something else. We're not really finding other pieces that would be easy to build on. But they're out there. We'll find them. And we're doing it as open and honest to the public as we can with transparency. We're not here to bully. We're not here to take, but we're actively hunting for a few locations.
The owner of Ernie's, is quite a, well, doesn't own the Ernie's fuel station anymore, but he's quite active and has had property in Federal Way for years, and contacted him, and he doesn't know of any that is readily available or might be available in the short term.
Chief Sukul and Director Lee are working with our agents and the city of Federal Way to look at potential properties. So there's a number of parcels we've looked at. The one that Chief Sukul mentioned is the one that is attractive to us in terms of an overall fit. But there's multiple parcels that we're currently looking at.
Yeah, the reason I asked him is over the years, he historically has owned an awful lot of property in Federal Way. And, surprising when you ask just what he has owned. It's he's a pretty big landowner. So. Question on a couple of things. The MIH case studies were excellent. I like those. They give you a much better feel of what of really what they're doing from an actual standpoint. Question on when we do soft staffing, how do we balance skills rank with what's needed? How do we distribute that?
So when we soft staff any units, we're trying to get to a certain number of units, because the units, we can have a whole bunch of people, but if we don't have more units, then it doesn't make a difference as far as the number of units we have out there and therefore our response times. So as we're hiring for that soft staffing, it is by qualification. So if we're staffing an engine, we need an engineer to be the driver. Obviously, we need an officer for whatever rig that we're hiring, or an acting officer. So it's by position, so that we fill the right qualifications, so that we add another unit.
Good. I'm glad to see we're getting together with the Federal Way Emergency Program. We when we very early on, we were closely related. Is there anything hard, or is it just in the planning stage?
Good evening. Yeah, we're just kind of planning getting the relationships back together. And I'm actually looking forward to it. Emergency Manager Pelly's been extremely helpful. And I'm looking forward to working with him. Still need to reach out to the city of Des Moines.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to me, I've heard that he's very competent and has a good background that fits the job. So,
Yeah, he's very qualified.
okay. Who has the recipe for quick beef stir fry? If somebody would email that to me, I'd like to give it a try. You got it. Last of my long list. Why am I known for a long list? The promotion process. Sometime I'd just like to hear about it in a commissioners meeting, how the promotion process works, and just the details of how it works.
Yeah, yes, Commissioner, we'd be happy to give you a rundown on how that process works. We work in partnership with the joint testing process hosted out of the South King County Fire Training Consortiums, where we partner with several different agencies to provide the testable elements, the evaluators, the assessors, radio room role players. I'll work directly with Sharice Gamble, and we'll have a presentation for you next meeting if that's what you'd like.
Sure. Learn more about it.
Very
An
well.
important part of our operation, particularly as we look at trying to create that opportunity for advancement. Okay. Last one, thinking about what commissioners attend things. Sometime during this large academy recruit training group we have, like to go down there and visit and say hello to that group. It's a large group. Just a matter of saying hello and welcoming them, and or at least listening to them if they have anything to say.
When would be the ideal time to do that? No, in the process.
you want to speak to that? Just give them a time frame as a follow-up.
Commissioner, I'll leave it to you. The academy that they're in right now through the training consortium is very regimented. We could potentially make time while they're down there. I think the day is pretty well scripted out, so it would likely be a lunchtime for them, for
Okay.
you to meet with them. Another opportunity where you could have a little more time with them would be in our post academy. Would also be another good option.
Okay. Just to express some interest from the commissioners, maybe other commissioners who want to join in the visit.
Would you prefer to do that before they come back here for post academy?
Let me think about that. Yeah.
They'll be back late January, early February.
All right. Thank you. And my last one is, there's a new backboarding protocol on the state. What is that? What does that involve? I used to see backboards stacked up at the emergency room at St. Francis. Don't see that big stack of backboards anymore.
Yeah, the state changed the protocol for all EMTs. And so we will be backboarding less patients than we used to. The specifics of it, I would, we can get back to you on, but basically they're just not backboarding everybody that they used to.
Okay.
And it's changed. So as far as our department, Lieutenant Mathis, who's working down at the consortium, has got that all out to our CBT instructors. And during this quarter, they're going through it, or maybe it was last quarter. But they've gone through the training, so all of our EMTs should be up to speed with the new state requirements for that.
Okay. Thank you. And last, we're having an Amazon grant presentation.
Yeah, Commissioner, Executive Secretary Perry will send out more information on that. I think it'll be at the truck bay at Station 62 on October 20th, if memory serves. More details
Okay.
forthcoming on that, but it's exciting to be the recipient of some money and goes towards a good cause for us. So
Okay. I'd like to be there.
you did mention promotions earlier, and I wanted to share with the board that we were notified by the union that the battalion chief's contract was approved by the union. You approved it last month. And so once we get a signed copy, we'll distribute that. But that does trigger 2 battalion chief promotions and then a couple of captain promotions as a result. So more opportunity, more movement happening right now. It's exciting times.
I do have one last one. At one time, we were, when we were forming up the fleet operations down there in 60, we were, the idea of doing work for other departments in the zone doesn't seem to me that's probably even possible given the demand that we have. They seem to be awfully busy just handling what we have.
Yeah, that's not something that we're dedicating resources to looking into right now. If based off of the things that we've discussed tonight, it's all hands on deck to get us to where we need to be. And so looking at regionalizing or taking on additional work right now outside of what we do to serve South King Fire, it's not on our docket.
No, the listing that they provide, the details that they provided in the past just don't add up to being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the fact that we had a engine that was damaged this weekend, they have to reprioritize their schedules and get a new engine in service sooner than they had anticipated. So we're constantly, trying to serve our community. Once we establish, where we need to be several years down the road, we can look at opportunities outside of the district and merging, other services and such, but not right now for us. Anything else?
We have 2 new engines coming
We do have them here, yes.
here.
So those were slated to be put into operation later this year. They're still waiting on some things to come in to get them ready to go out. But given that we're down an engine, now they have to figure out how to get one in service sooner. Yep.
Well, I'll give the floor to anyone else that wants to.
Well, you took all my questions.
Okay. We
Thank
gotta
you.
get together,
Okay.
try to split them up.
Which last one was your question?
About the engine. Anything else? Mr. Fuller, you good? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't-
Okay. Okay. All righty. Thank you. We're down to item number 8 for September budget.
All right, 3/4 of the year has passed. Should be at about 75% for the year. We are still trending under budget at 70 and 2300%, which puts us at about 4 and 7700% under budget. That's about a percent difference from last month. We anticipate that budget cushion that we have right now will close a little bit as the year ends. We had a couple of big ticket items come through. We had our insurance that we pay annually, which is over $300,000. We had some consortium costs. So we had some big heavy hitters come through, as you can see, at $4.8 million processed this month. So it was a big month for us, but we're still well under budget. And I'm going to pass it to Finance Manager Barrett to read you the particulars.
Okay, this month we have mid-month totaling $414,318.68. Accounts payable totaling $1,904,445.90. Payroll totaling $1,830,435.27. EFTPS totaling $420,170.70. Medical claims processed as of September 16th totaling $257,212.94 for a total approval of $4,826,583.49.
Any questions?
What does that 4.77 equate to in dollars?
You know, I actually normally calculate that every single month, and I didn't do it this month.
Okay,
But I think it's a little bit over $2 million.
okay,
At 5, it was about 3 plus, so it's about probably 2.25.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. You. Item number 9, approval of vouchers.
I move approval of the September vouchers.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gates, seconded by Commissioner Medina. Any other discussion on motion on the table for approval of vouchers? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. Thank you. Do we also have Commissioner Burris on? Thank you. Other than that, hearing and seeing no other business, we're adjourned.